And now, we'd like to present a short documentary that might help you better understand the Orca and its place in the world we all share.
The ocean covers over 70% of the Earth's surface and is essential to all life, both in the sea and on the land. There's one animal that is the perfect ambassador for the ocean, and that's the Orca, or killer whale. In just a few minutes, you'll meet SeaWorld's killer whales. First though, let's find out more about these remarkable animals. Orca, or the killer whale, is the most widely distributed mammal on Earth. They can be found throughout the ocean, all around the world, including in the Arctic, the Atlantic, the Southern, the Indian, and the Pacific Oceans. No other single marine species lives in as many different ocean habitats or is as directly reliant on as many different types of marine life as the killer whale. More than any other marine animal, Orca is the very embodiment of our shared global ocean. Until about 2 decades ago, scientists didn't know that there were actually several different varieties or ecotypes of killer whales. With effort and observation, however, we discovered that there are actually 10 distinct ecotypes, each differing in size, behavior, diet, lifestyle, and appearance. A striking characteristic of the orca is their black and white skin. This camouflage is called disruptive coloration. In a murky environment, this coloration can make them difficult to detect. Killer whales are countershaded. Their top surface is darker than their surface underneath. From below, looking up, they blend in with the light from above. From above, looking down, they're invisible against the dark depths. Killer whales are warm-blooded and breathe air just like we do. Killer whales are the largest members of the Delphinidae, or dolphin family. As you can see, they have impressive physical characteristics. Orcas have keen eyesight, both above and below the water. The dorsal fin of an adult male can be up to 6 feet in height. The powerful pectoral flippers and tail flip can propel them through the water at a high rate of speed with great maneuverability. Their top speed is nearly 30 miles per hour. Killer whales use echolocation to hunt and to communicate. Communication is also accomplished through tail slaps, breaching, and mobilizations. You'll experience a variety of natural killer whale behaviors during orca encounter today. We ask our whales to replicate natural behaviors such as breaching, spy hopping, and tail slaps. While awe-inspiring and entertaining for our guests, these behaviors are also essential to maintaining the health and well-being of the killer whales in our cave. Much remains to be understood regarding the Orca. One thing we do know, however, is that across the globe, they face real challenges as the general health and prey populations and habitats on which killer whales depend suffer due to changes in the environment. In just a few moments, you'll encounter SeaWorld's killer whales and learn even more about these fascinating animals. As the most widely distributed mammal on Earth, the killer whale is uniquely positioned to represent the power and fragility of the ocean.
And on behalf of our entire killer whale more than just a job. We are proud of what we do, and it is a privilege to work with, care for, teach, and build relationships with these amazing animals. Now more than ever, we are honored to share what we've learned with you today and for many more years to come. We thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy Orca Encounter!
Interconnected ocean. A vast blue expanse critical to life on Earth. And there's no better animal to represent the ocean's beauty than the killer whale.
They live in every corner of the ocean, from the Arctic to the Atlantic, the Southern to the Indian, to the Pacific and beyond.
The killer whale story is the ocean story, and it's one we all share.
We are one world, united by our ocean.
spend days, weeks, months, years building relationships with our whales. This creates trust, and that allows us to do some amazing things. For example, when you visit the doctor, you present your arm to draw blood, or step on the scale to see how much you weigh. It's much the same with our whales.
Throughout today's experience, you'll see our killer whales moving together in unison. These synchronized behaviors can strengthen social bonds and allow them to problem solve as a group. This is just another reason that they are known as the ocean's top predator. Their scientific name is Orca, but more commonly they are known as killer whale. Here at SeaWorld, our 5 killer whales have their very own personal names. We have our 3 females, Katina, Nalani, and Malia, and we have our 2 males, Trua and Makayo. Makayo is our youngest killer whale at 10 years old, and Trua is 15. Nalani and Malia are both 14. And Katina is our oldest killer whale at 45 years old. Katina is our matriarch or leader of our pod. Now, our killer whales trust us, and they take an active role in their health and well-being. Some of the very first behaviors that we teach our whales are husbandry or healthcare behaviors. These behaviors are designed specifically to monitor the health of each individual animal. Just like you and I go to the doctor, we have our veterinary staff on site that comes out to take care of our animals. Now in just a moment, you'll see our trainers step into our slide out. We have Amy and Justin and Lisa with our 3 females, Katina, Nalani, and Malia. And they will be demonstrating a fluke present. Now this fluke present is an important behavior. Not only does this allow us to take a good look at their entire body, but this behavior allows us to collect a blood sample from our whales. If you take a look at that white underside of their tail, you might see the vein that runs alongside, and that's where we collect that blood sample from. Just like you and I know to go to the doctor, we hold that arm out very still. Our whales are conditioned to hold that tail nice and still for our trainers. Now this blood we will collect about once every month with all of our whales. It's a great behavior too for health and diagnostic, but it's also a great way for our trainers to build a relationship with our animals. Another important diagnostic that we get from our animals is a weight. Just like you and I know to step on a scale, either at home or at the doctor's office, our killer whales know to slide onto a killer whale size scale that we have in an adjacent environment. And it looks like our 3 female killer whales will demonstrate that slide out behavior for you right here in our slide out. So to get an accurate reading of exactly how much our whales weigh, we simply ask them to lift that tail up and out of the water. This way we can make sure that the young whales are growing appropriately and the adult whales are maintaining a healthy weight. Now, SeaWorld's research and observation of the killer whales in our care has shed light on many mysteries about these amazing animals. For example, we know now that the gestation period of a pregnant killer whale is 17 months, information that would be impossible to obtain out in the wild. Some information, however, can only be obtained through field observation. SeaWorld works with our partners like the Norwegian Orca Survey and NOAA to help further this knowledge. Killer whales are powerful animals, and perhaps the best expression of this power can be seen when they hunt.
Killer whales stand apart. They have no natural predators, and just about any other ocean animal could be their dinner. Depending on where they live and their chosen prey, they've developed some epic hunting techniques. Off the coast of South America, killer whales will beach themselves, riding in on waves just long enough to catch prey. They'll also create waves that knock animals like penguins or seals from ice floes. Most importantly, they cooperate, communicate, and coordinate as a team. Here's footage of killer whales corralling a school of herring. A whale dips in and feeds, while the other whales keep the fish together with spikes of their tail fins.
So killer whales create ways to hunt and use those powerful flukes to stun their prey. You're about to see a demonstration. For the whales, it's a fun activity session. But it looks like the whales have personalities and likes and dislikes. These animals are not robots, so we can't force them to do anything that they don't want to do. So it looks like our females decided that they weren't ready to go into our back area and they wanted to hang out with all of you guys instead. So while we're hanging out, you guys can take a look at them kind of swimming around here. They do interact with each other, and these girls are about 4,000 and 5,000 pounds each. So when they're interacting with each other, whether it be playing or interacting, it's going to kind of look pretty intense just like this. But they're just interacting with each other. So right now as trainers, it's our job and our responsibility to just kind of give them that time that they need. So we're just kind of giving them just a little bit of time on their own to either kind of figure things out or maybe just to get some of that extra energy out. This just means you guys get to hear me talk just a little bit longer. So while we're hanging out, I'm going to give you guys just a little bit about how we train our whales. And how we train our whales is going to be exactly how we train our sea lions and how we train our dolphins. But everything is based on positive reinforcement. Basically, this means anytime our animals do something that we're looking for or something that we want to reinforce, they're going to get something that's going to be reinforcing. Now, what do you guys think is going to be reinforcing for a 5,000-pound killer whale? Go ahead and shout it out. Fish, exactly. Each of our animals, each of our whales eats about 100 pounds of fish every single day. It's a lot of fish. So fish is going to be very reinforcing for our animals. You'll see our trainers up on stage with big buckets of fish, and you'll see them do a really cool behavior. They come on back, they get some sort of reinforcement. But we don't always use food, which is really cool. We have lots of different tools under our training belt. You might see us as trainers use different toys. Does anyone have some favorite toys that you like to play with? Yeah? Video games, you like dolls or action figures. You all have different likes and dislikes. Same thing with our killer whales. We have a variety of different sized toys. They're all very indestructible for the most part. They have to withstand interacting with a 5,000 to 6,000 pound killer whale. So they're very tough toys, but each one is a different shape, a different size, and a different color. So each animal might have just kind of a different toy that they might like to interact with. Along with toys and along with fish, we also give our animals gelatin. So flavorless, colorless, sugarless Jell-O. It's not something that is necessarily tasty for the animals, but it might just be a little bit different for them. But we can actually kind of stick them and glue them to different toys, and they kind of have to figure out how to peel off those little gelatin bits from the toys. So we have a wide variety of things that we can reinforce our animals with. Killer whales, their skin is also very sensitive. They've got nerve endings all throughout their skin. So you might even see our trainers giving them a nice back rub, or a nice pec massage, or a nice tail massage. So a nice gentle tactile session can be pretty reinforcing for our animals. Now you guys are getting to see exactly what happens when things don't go according to plan. And what do you see our trainers doing? Nothing! Exactly! So when our animals do something that's not quite exactly what we're looking for, the best way that we can tell our animals that that wasn't quite what we were looking for is nothing. So say we were to send an animal out on a front flip, and she decides to do a beautiful bow instead. When she returns to stage, or she returns to our trainer, what we're going to do is just simply nothing. That way we can let her know that that wasn't quite exactly what we were looking for, and then at that point we have two options. We can either ask again, or we can move on to something different. You may have seen our trainers using these target poles. We've kind of got them all throughout our environment here. This basically acts as an extension of our hand. Our animals are trained and conditioned to follow our hand movements, our body language, but this area is very big. Our pool is very big. We can't reach our hands out all the way into the center of our environment. So we're going to use things like these target poles to kind of help us reach all the way out to the middle there. Lots of different training tools, which is really cool. Now, if we're kind of talking about all 5 of our killer whales, we do have our 2 males and our 3 females. You guys did get to see our 2 boys at the beginning of our presentation, and now our 3 females. Do they all look pretty similar? Yeah. Believe it or not, they all do look very different, especially to us. We spend a lot of time with our animals. We're here over holidays, we're here over weekends, we're here almost 24/7 with our whales. So just looking at our animals, can we identify individuals? Now typically males are going to be about 2 times times the size of females. Our animals are all still growing, with the exception of Katina, since she is 45, but they can continue to grow until about 20s. Like early 20s is pretty good for killer whales to stop growing. On average, females can weigh anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 pounds. Males anywhere from 8 to 12,000 pounds. It's pretty big. So Trua is not our oldest, but our largest killer whale. He is 15 years old, and right now he weighs at 6,500 pounds. So there's a good chance that he could double in size. And like I said, on average, they eat about 100 pounds of food every single day. But since Trua is our biggest, he eats around 140 pounds. We're just having all the microphone problems today. And some will eat a little more, some will eat a little less. Like I said, Makayo is our youngest at 10, and so right now he's eating about 100 pounds. But as he grows bigger and stronger and goes through different growth spurts, he's gonna get a lot more nutrients and a lot more food. Just like different food has different caloric values and different nutrients for us, so does the fish. So you might see our trainers feeding our whales different types of fish. We have capelin, which is very small. It's very high in water content, kind of like the healthy celery stick. And then we have herring, which is a bigger fish. It's very high in fats and nutrients. And then each one of our whales gets at least 1 or 2 salmon every single day. So a nice big 5-pound salmon. Now those salmons are kind of like the steak dinner or like the really big juicy cheeseburger. Those are the pretty good fish. Very high in lots of fats and lots of nutrients. Now going back to kind of how we identify and tell apart each of our animals. Right now we have, it looks like Malia that's swimming around out front. So as she's kind of swimming around, you guys can take a look at her. We will use those eye patches to identify individuals. They do look pretty different from each whale to each whale. But we are going to use things like their dorsal fins to identify them. Each animal does have a unique dorsal fin. Some kind of lean a little bit, some are more straight up. Just like dolphins have different tail flukes, different notches on their tails, so do our whales. So tails are going to be another way to identify them. But Malia has a very nice and very straight dorsal fin swimming around right in front. She's one of our 14-year-old females hanging out with us. Now if you guys haven't gotten splashed yet or haven't felt that water over that glass yet, that water is 52 degrees cold. Very cold. It was very hot today, wasn't it? Thank you guys so much for your patience. You guys are doing a great job. Like I was talking about too, how we do what you guys are seeing right now when our animals aren't doing exactly what we were looking for. This opportunity for our animals does give them kind of a time to just kind of reset. So right now we have our trainers that are in the backstage right now, and they're just watching our animals because as animal behaviorists, it's our job to kind of monitor our animals and watch and see. If I could speak whale, our jobs would be a lot easier, I can tell you that. So right now we're just trying to get a read on where our animals are at. She was ready to hang on out. So we're going to try to take things from the beginning of our hunt segment. Thank you guys. Unfortunately, overfishing, pollution, and other factors are having a serious impact on some killer whale populations.
Killer whales are impressive animals, and it's pretty obvious why they're the top predator in the ocean. That means killer whales are invincible, right? Wrong.
Killer whales depend on a plentiful food source and a clean environment. They're completely dominant, yet completely dependent.
When it comes down to it, killer whales are not the most powerful animal in the ocean. Their future depends on you.
Through your actions.
Through the choices we all make, we hold the future of killer whales and the oceans in our hands.
Killer whales continue to surprise and amaze us. They're the perfect ambassador of the ocean, limitless, connected, powerful, but still vulnerable.
The challenges that we face can seem insurmountable.
Don't give up. Be inspired.
We can make a difference. The ocean needs our help, and that seems overwhelming, but together we can make it happen.
There's so much to learn.
So much to protect. So much to explore. The killer whale story is still being written, and there are simple things we all can do to make a difference. All it takes is one choice.
One positive act. One ripple that can grow and grow.
And change the world.
Together
us and have a great rest of your night, everyone. Bye.